With elections now approaching, the discussions of bribery and the possibility of vote buying has once again become a focal point. But despite these allegations, no one has successfully proven bribery, nor has anyone been prosecuted for such an offense. So, is there a legal framework that defines bribery and how it can be proven? That question was put to a panel at a media briefing at the Caribbean Anti-Corruption Conference being held at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort. The conference is being organized by the Commonwealth Caribbean Association of Integrity Commissions and Anti-Corruption Bodies, the CCAI-CACB. Addressing the question was Honorable Justice Perletta Lance, chairperson of the St. Kitts Integrity Commission.
Bribery, you ask for the definition. The act, I should say, does not define bribery. I do not know of any act in the country that defines bribery. Neither I know of any act that defines corruption. The Integrity in Public Life Act does not define corruption. So if we have not had any complaints of bribery or corruption made to us. So if we did, we would have had to probably go to the Interpretation Act for a definition or something like that, or to some case which had that question or issue before it. So that is one of the problems arising there. Now, as I've said, we have not had any complaints of bribery or corruption. Our legal framework, as the Attorney General has said, needs to be strengthened. And that is, I think, a work in progress.
However, chairman of the CCAI-CACB, Canon Mark Kendall, said there is precedence of anti-bribery legislation that the Caribbean can learn from, using the Turks and Caicos Islands as an example.
Speaking about in the Turks and Caicos Islands, we have certain provisions. For example, we have political financing ordinance by which elections are governed. Reports have to be handed in. We know that treating is against the law with regard to elections. You cannot give somebody even a beer and say to that person, you have to vote for me. So I believe in the case of St. Kitts and Nevis, just having a view of the legislations that are available in the region would help you to craft your own in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Meanwhile, Attorney General Vincent Barron Jr. pointed out that in the absence of definitive laws against bribery, there is legislation that addresses treating, which is essentially providing gifts in exchange for votes.
That if convicted, you can either have to pay a fine or go to jail or be barred from participating in elective office for up to 7 years. We have the case out of Dominica quite recently that went all the way to the CCJ that has really set a sort of standard as to what in our region treating is, because there too there was no definition of bribery or treating as such. And so the whole conduct of elections, and I'm happy for the question because normally at the election cry, there are a lot of allegations of the spreading of inducements for people to vote. And that is a very major thing that needs to be dealt with in our jurisdiction.
The hybrid conference of the CCAI-CACB is being held at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort from May 23 to 27 under the theme Controlling Corruption. Preventative mechanisms work better than reactive measures. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.